Hey everyone, Drew Zapier here. We're out here. It is February 24th. It is almost sunset. Beautiful sunset here at this property right now. Look at that. Beautiful day at the tree. And the video today is largely going to be about everything y'all are already hearing about, which is all these colonies collapsing. Sorry, I'm trying to find a good spot for my GoPro. And pretty much what I'm seeing so far here in this part of Georgia. So my last check on these hives was probably, 2 or so weeks ago. And I went into winter with 20 hives, not that many. Between these yards, 20 hives. I have other hives that I take care of, but of just my own personal stuff. I just had a small couple yards out here. And of the 20 I went into winter with, I lost 2 over the winter, which I was like, yeah, they weren't super strong hives to begin with. It wasn't that surprising. And I noticed that on the last check. Today, I've only gone through, let's see, I still have 2 more to go, but there were 7 right here, 3 at a different yard. The 3 at the other yard are fine. Here of these 7, 2 were just outright dead. And I've also got this one right here, appears to be queenless, or, they're definitely not queen right. I didn't see any eggs in brood, whereas all the others have, not only started laying eggs, but I'm even seeing some drones, which I thought was kind of interesting. So there were some drones, I should say drones, but drone brood in 2 of these hives, which is great to see. So they know that spring's around the corner. The other yard, some of the hives over there, I didn't see any drone brood at all. But I just kind of wanted to mention that, yeah, so I lost, aside from the 2 initially from 2 weeks ago, I lost 2 more, and I have a sneaking suspicion this one probably on the way out. So, there's a lot of talk right now in the bee community as what's going on. It could be any combination of things. It could be everything that we're not doing enough of, whether it's our treatments, whether it's some new pesticide that's out there. It's really kind of hard to say, but I do know I've been talking with some of my colleagues in other states, and it's been pretty bad. Some regions are just getting hammered. Right here, they say like it's not a terrible year if you overwinter 75% or more, right? I mean, that's pretty good because it's very easy to build back your numbers going into the spring. Making splits is not that hard once you've done it enough. But once you start getting to 50% or below, you basically are going into the next year hoping you break even again. And some it's even worse than that. Some of these folks that are losing 90%, 100%, like whatever it is, it's just like you're basically out. You're basically out. But here, like I said, I've now, so I can update, I'm at 16 out of 20, soon to be, in my opinion, 15 out of 20, so that's already going to be at around that 75%. There could be more. I have another yard I'm going to finish. This video is going to be a long one, so I'm going to have some more final thoughts as to what I see after we finish the yard tomorrow. But I'm basically going to show you kind of what I saw with these, and we'll kind of talk about that more at the very end with some final thoughts. So far, in this little spot, I know there's some over there, so time will tell. So this was, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7 hives right here, and I've already found 2 dead, both of which were actually in really good condition. This was probably 2 to 3 weeks ago, last time I was out here for a second round of OA. One thing I just want to mention as to the reason why I'm recording, I've already scraped the dead bees off of both this one and the one over there. The cluster was, I wouldn't say like ginormous, but I wouldn't also say it wasn't small either, but they had food. They did not really appear to be storing much honey though in the brood box. A lot of the honey was up in the supers that I had left on just because I had some supers that I didn't want to harvest. Give them some feed, and so it's interesting that it was cold enough that they weren't able to go up there and get that, because I'm gonna be honest, most of the bees that I saw that were dead had their tongue sticking out, and usually that's a sign of everything from starvation. You know, sometimes they'll also say if you see their butts sticking out of the cells that they starved. This hive wasn't as much as that one. That one had a cluster of bees. You can kind of still see them right now in the top. I haven't fully examined. I'm wondering if that's where I'm gonna find my dead queen. But, you know, as you can see, they're like frozen solid. There was a good amount of dead bees at the bottom of that one, but that bottom board was identical to this bottom board in that a lot of the bees had their tongue sticking out. I will say I did see some mites, but again, I saw a big mite drop from doing OA this winter. So was OA done too late? That's possible. You know, now they've been every now and again us having a warm day. Is there some sort of pesticide or something there that, or you know, that they foraged that got poisoned? I feel like that's probably a little more unrealistic this time of the year, but I could be wrong, right? So disappointing. Just wanted to share 2 new dead outs. So I will I'll share some more thoughts and notes on that later. Yeah, folks, this yard is looking a lot better than the one I started the video with near the big tree. I mean, this hive is just packed full of bees and brood. This overwintered. A lot of the hives in this yard, -2, overwintered as a deep and a medium. This is one of those deep and mediums. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna need to come out here in the next week and add a box very quickly. There's drone brood all in here. You don't want to see that, but I mean, there's a little patch of drone brood right there. The camera can see that right there. Slammed. Really good to see that. Really nice to see that. So, just kind of wanted to share that, you know, nothing changed with what I did this winter. You know, yard to yard, all of them were the same. I'm curious what other beekeepers are noticing as far as the ones that have seen some losses. You know, because I think nationwide we're trying to figure out what happened. You know, was it simply the cold? Was it the mites? Combination of all the above. But just don't know. Like I said, this yard, you know, there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's only 9 hives here. You know, this one over here was pretty weak last time, so I know it's buzzing, and there's one over there that was okay. But so far we're really good. We've got a lot of candidates for making early splits with. Just loaded with brood, folks. Again, this is February 25th. We've had awful cold weather, and looking at how much brood I'm seeing in here, I mean, you know, my guess is a lot of this is within the past 7 to 10 days. I doubt she would have brooded up that quickly in the winter, or you know, when we still had cold. We still had awful cold just 2 weeks ago. So anyways, I'll keep working through these, and yeah, we'll go from there. Right here, we're kind of at the front of this group of hives. This one over here is hanging by a thread. I'm actually gonna try to keep it alive via warmth from that one by using those divider boards we were talking about. Very small patch of brood. They're barely 2 seams of bees. So, you know, they've made it through the winter this small, but that doesn't mean something's not gonna change. I need to boost them and keep them warm. So I'm actually gonna put them on top of this hive. So I just wanted to show real quick, this is from the left hive. Pretty strong, the left one. There's already drones in there, like hatched. You know, I've been mentioning that, you can kind of see them right here. See them walking around? Yep. So, you know, I haven't fully dug through this hive right here, but I mentioned in the yards, you know, I'm seeing, you know, small patches of brood or brood that, you know, could be hatching in the next 10 to 14 days. It seems far enough along, but shows that even right here, there are already drones in this hive. So, I mean, I'm counting at least 6 on this frame alone right now, but just wanted to share that. I'm almost done and I can share my final thoughts. All right, that's pretty much it for here. Like I said, this whole yard, as mentioned earlier, was 9 hives. All 9 are alive. The only exception is that one little one, you know, it's a single deep in the front that has a very weak population. They're the only one that probably won't make it, but the only thing I did to maybe give them a chance is, as you can see right here, that topmost box was the one that was to the right. I put one of those divider boards in between there so they can come in and out of that side. That might take them a little bit to get oriented, but they didn't have many foragers to come in and out from anyways. The only thing I did to boost them was I gave them a tiny bit more honey as part of their cluster. Again, I'm expecting them to not make it, which if that's the case, then that'll be, you know, one in this yard that didn't make it over the winter. But, you know, they're at least gonna be able to share warmth. I personally think that if they don't make it, it's just gonna be because they were too small of a cluster and the temps just got them. But I'm amazed that that tiny of a cluster through this whole winter was able to brave the cold and not freeze to death. That blows my mind for how small they are. And there were like no dead bees on the bottom board. You know, you'd think sometimes you'd have slow losses over the winter of bees just freezing to death, but nope. They're just tiny. And I did see fresh eggs in there too. So, you know, there is a queen. She just didn't lay a big enough cluster. So either way, I'll be curious when I come back out in a little bit, you know, are they making a comeback because now they've got some warmth from the strong hive below? We'll see. Time will tell. But yeah, I mean, you know, overall, I could say that of my personal hives, not the hives that I take care of for work reasons, my personal hobby hives that I mentioned started the winter with 20. I can officially say since going into like Thanksgiving, which is for me is like start of winter down here, to now, that was a loss of 5. So 75% over winter. Again, a lot can happen though, folks, even in March. You know, I know we're about to enter March with less than a week. March is usually a very dangerous month for hives, but that's why these hive checks are so important this time of the year. If you're able to do one, it's almost 70 degrees right now on the 25th. And honestly, if it wasn't that warm, I wouldn't be able to dive into all these hives. And now that I've dove through every hive that I have over the past 2 days, I feel good about what's remaining minus that one. So, you know, they all have, I feel like, enough honey. You know, anything can happen, but we'll see what happens going into the spring. And in the meantime, the only other things I did while I was out here is trying to make a split with that one. Sorry that my audio was crap on how to make that split. It's almost like my mic wasn't working, but essentially I just kind of mentioned that not exactly sure which side of that divider board the queen is on, the old queen, but one of the sides is gonna hopefully emergency make a queen. And if that's successful, you know, give it a 3 to 4 weeks, we can come back out here and check on the status of that. Same with that far one over there. They are also in the process of doing the same thing. They were super strong, split them in half. That should slow down, hopefully, the swarm impulse too of hives like this. Because now they have less bodies, less bees. That should give them some more space. So, yeah, I think really next steps, aside from continuing to do what I just showed y'all at my hives, the next visits over the next month are really just going to be getting swarm traps out now, continuing to do those divider board splits and adding boxes. I did not add a lot of boxes out here today because I didn't bring a whole lot, but I quickly realized a lot of these are gonna need another box very quickly. So my next visit is just gonna be hauling woodenware out into the field to give them a little bit more room to slow down that swarm impulse. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully all your hives are doing better with all this craziness in the beekeeping world going on right now. Either way, I'll keep y'all updated if I'm able to make another video in this early spring and give you some updates of how everything else is going for me. So thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe if you like this content, and hope to catch you all in the next one. Thank you.